This is take number 12 on this week's Thursdays 3 with D. So I'm gonna get stuck right in, and this is gonna be my last take. So you're gonna have to deal with what I'm throwing down. All right, we're talking about the hashtag Save Our Kauri campaign. The Save Our Kauri campaign, for those of you who don't live in New Zealand or other places that have covered this story, which has broken internationally. There are two architects that own a property, and they had been given permission to fell a couple of very large, very old, very significant trees, native New Zealand trees. My understanding was that we couldn't fell native New Zealand trees under any circumstances unless they were sick or an threat to people or property. Now, neither of those things were the case with these trees. So long story short, the trees have been saved, okay? They've been given a reprieve. They're not getting chopped down. That's a really great and important and uplifting and buoying result for this campaign. 8,957 likes on the page, which is not very old at all. Now, I want to talk about the leveraging that has happened. A lot of people from various political areas with various political agendas have stood up and said, I will climb the tree, I will stand next to the tree. They're really leveraging this. Now, the fact of the matter is, 18 million acres of trees are felled internationally. That includes some here in New Zealand. Russia, Brazil, Canada, US, and Indonesia are the biggest offenders in felling trees that we need to cleanse our air and keep our entire ecosystem working, because without the trees sucking up carbon and spitting out oxygen, we all die. So so conservation in general is something that we need to be discussing, and it starts with one tree, but we've got a lot more to discuss. Definitely draw that line and don't cross it. In New Zealand, my understanding is there was no felling of native trees. Non-native trees, yes, in the wake of development, etc. There's a lot more trees. There's Pohutukawas lining a proposed roading works project that are going to be in the news a lot now that this has broken, I'm assuming. And the last thing I want to talk about, and this is probably from a PR perspective the most important, the people who own this property, they're a couple of architects. They are very private people. They've been thrust into the spotlight and into the media. Rachel Hunter came to the party and said, oh, hugging a tree and saying, you can't cut down the trees, which is true, you can't cut down those trees. But they're probably feeling a little bit vilified and shell-shocked. They were following the letter of the law. They didn't break any laws. They don't want to lose their licenses as architects. And they were just dealing with a very difficult and unique project. I've only got 4 seconds. End of story. Don't vilify them. I wish them all the best. I'm glad the tree's okay, and that's my 3 minutes. Have a great day.